What is up, guys? I am m0NESY and today we will follow m0NESY on Mirage CT side and find out how he rotates so well that he's always in the right place at the right time, to the point where he can get 28 kills on a game that started on the CT side and ended 16-4. So this is crazy numbers. And guys, don't be discouraged by his elo or him being m0NESY. This works even better the lower you go. So gold, nova, silver, this is going to destroy the opponents down there. And m0NESY has shown us that this still works even at what, 6,500 elo. So without further ado, let's get into it and see how well he rotates on the CT side. Now already here on the pistol round we see something important, which is m0NESY playing window. Now this is quite obvious. He's the AVP player, he's a pro player, everybody lets him do what he wants basically here. However, this is something you should try and replicate in your own games as well. Even if not window, then maybe connector and stairs, maybe short area. These middle areas of the map, you should prioritize these if possible. The truth is you simply have faster rotates and more impact. You can see more, you can get faster to A, you can still help B. Same thing on A side. If you're the con player, you can help A, you can attack middle, you can try and flanking B. You have a little bit faster rotates than if you were like the A anchor. It's just more impactful to be in one of the middle areas. Now back to m0NESY, and with mere 10 seconds having passed on the round, he already starts rotating, and there are multiple reasons. The main one being that his pre-made teammate Folia gets the middle control. And this is, even if he's not your pre-made, simply somebody else seeing middle is good enough. And the reason is we want to base our rotates on what is the most probable and the highest impact place I can be at right now. And currently there is somebody holding middle, so staying to middle would be very low impact and very improbable. People typically don't sit around middle waiting 10 seconds before they rush. It's possible, but again, CS is a game of odds. It's less likely than them executing A through palace or them executing B through B apartments. And even if the enemies do end up getting top middle, they cannot plant a bomb. It's low impact. They still have to get to A or they still have to get to B. And this gives m0NESY more time to impact the round. Again, it's all about how much you can impact, how many kills you can get. That's how m0NESY ends up getting so many kills on his CT side. Now the question you might have is, why does m0NESY not go A in the first place? Why go window at all? Well, first of all, it's more probable for the enemies to come through middle at the beginning of the round than later on. So if they didn't come immediately, it's less likely they will come later. And again, what was the most impactful thing is this guy jumping on short. Now he can see middle and he has faster rotate B. So m0NESY being in window gives him fast A rotates, fast B rotates and middle control. That's the most impact you can basically have. But as soon as somebody else has even faster B rotate and can still see middle, m0NESY can now lean towards A. Him being middle, being a fast B rotate is very low impact because you already have 3 guys on the B side. Now you can lean A more, and that's where your impact will be more meaningful. That's where you can determine whether you win the round or not. If they go B, your team should be able to handle them anyways long enough for you to rotate there. Now in round 2 there's a lot to digest, but we can see m0NESY has the worst possible spawn you could get. And he ends up going 3 window instead of running B. If he were to run B, this guy would be going short and m0NESY would be left with the least impactful position of jumping near the van, of maybe trying to get some flanks. It's very low impact. Here he has maximum impact, he has A rotates, he has B rotates, whatnot. And also they just won pistol round by having 3 guys B. And now it's very improbable that the T's will try B again. They just failed. They would typically try and do something else. So now m0NESY is in middle and now he has to rotate. Why does he rotate B? Because that's the main way you can still lose a round. This guy, he's probably alright on A. He has basically 2 guys still helping him. Whereas this guy, he's all alone. Nobody's here to help. If he dies, the enemies get all control of B side. So in m0NESY's mind, that's the main way to lose this round. We already have decent mid control, we already have fine A control. Even this guy, he can help middle and A. I have to take the B. I didn't want to go here, but like you have no other option, and that's why m0NESY goes B. But we can see that he still stays in market. He still stays as a fast A rotate using his rifle advantage. If they do end up coming here, m0NESY doesn't mind playing these long angles, maybe trying some crossfires with this, maybe retaking the site. He would rather retake the site and be a quick rotate towards A and middle, than make sure they don't get to B side but not have any impact on A and middle at all. Now we can see that his teammate smoked off B apartments here, and as soon as he does, m0NESY is already rotating. That's crazy to me. He just completely forgets about B. If they go B, whatever, we can retake it. the chances of them going B just went down a lot. When this smoke bloomed, I have 15-20 seconds to do something else. Now he has time to go middle, he has time to go A, do something impactful, and then come B before this smoke fades. He can come back to B. And this is where him being pre-made with Folia really matters. This is something you might not be able to replicate in your own games. He goes and flashes Folia in. Unfortunately, Folia peeked before the flash, ends up dying. And now the T's also attack A. This is why we won't see m0NESY rotating back to B. The enemies are clearly middle and A. His teammate can take B alone quite easily. That's all there is to the round ends. But again, we can see how he lives on the map. He goes middle first. Then he has to go B for a while. He has no other options. That's the only way to lose the round. But as soon as the smoke goes up, it's now so unlikely that why would you stay B? And guys, if you don't want to be this dynamic, at least do what m0NESY did and stay in the market. You don't need to sit here next to the smoke. You don't need to climb up here and stare at the smoke when they execute A. Now you're completely useless. You'd rather be in market until you get some information. At least one guy in apartments. Maybe that's when you can jump out the market and try play B side instead. Now, in case you missed it, m0NESY did end up getting double kills on the middle after his rotate from B. So that was clearly a high impact rotate. But something people don't immediately realize, something that's not obvious, is even if he didn't get a single kill, he still has great impact on his teammates. And you want this too. You want to help your teammates fight their fights without having to worry about the rest of the map. So simply m0NESY being here allows his teammate to not worry about middle, allows his teammate to hold palace, and allows this guy to focus solely on ramp, and now everything on A goes smoothly, mainly thanks to m0NESY rotating here in time and doing something impactful instead of staring at one smoke in case somebody maybe possibly comes through the smoke, which they typically don't. Now round 6, something very similar where m0NESY goes middle. This time he has an AVP and now the enemy smoke middle. m0NESY mollies. This is very standard in higher ranks where you molly this and whatever. His teammates come middle, they throw smokes, they throw nades, and see how he's already rotating. As soon as he realized nobody ran through the molly, nobody came through the smoke, and now I have 2 teammates at middle. Now being middle is very low impact. I haven't seen anybody. All I've seen is one smoke that came from base, and I have 2 guys already here. Me being a 3rd guy here is very low impact. I would rather be elsewhere where I can have more impact if the enemies decide to come there. And A side is typically a viable option for an AVP. You should consider this. However, his teammate is clearly in a retake setup. He's further back. These guys, they can delay the fight. They are giving up the A side anyways. If the enemies plant, you can retake. So m0NESY is not in a hurry to A. Even if he goes B, he can always come back and now do the retake, which they are doing anyways. Whereas this guy, he's all alone. The short guy, he's quite close, but he's not really there. And also, this is something I cannot know for sure, but I believe this guy heard somebody running in B-apps and probably called it out. This is Faceit level 10, he probably called it out. And this is something you might get in your games as well. Sometimes even in silver, people communicate just one information, just one B. That's all you need. That's enough. m0NESY is rotating anyways. You're going B probably anyways. Now you know for a fact that you're going B. And the enemy decides to run through the molly, get a really nice timing. The CTs are taking middle. We guys can rush B now. And guess who's there to get the kill? m0NESY. This would be so annoying if I was the T. You guys are faking middle. m0NESY is always there. And now you do a really fast rush B and m0NESY is already there. So yeah, just another round where m0NESY rotates B after his teammates get the middle control, and that was the right call. Now here's a different kind of round just to show you that it's about having high impact, not about rotating necessarily. So here's a round where there's multiple flashes, there's molotovs, there's smokes, there's nades, whatnot, and clearly there are multiple people middle. That's when it's the highest impact to be middle. Rotating away here would be nonsense. Even if there's 3 of you middle, there's also 3 of them middle, so that's still high impact. And you cannot be afraid of like individual flank. If he kills one of your teammates and you kill 3 of his teammates, obviously that's a win for you. So this is way higher impact than anything else you could possibly do. And that's why m0NESY smokes off the molly, he goes through the smoke and he finds a pick from middle, and see what happens. As soon as he gets the kill, he's already with his knife out, running away from middle, because now the enemies know where you are. Now these guys, they are afraid of you, they will use flashbangs, they will not peek stupidly, they will not give you more kills. Whereas if there's somebody lurking towards A or whatever, he might be thinking, now's my chance. m0NESY is middle, my teammates are middle, I will go through ramp, I will kill the A guy, I will flank m0NESY and I will win the round. Well, guess what? m0NESY is already here. He's throwing Molotovs into a palace. He's peeking into ramp with his AVP. He's ready for whoever might be trying to get a crazy kill from A side. However, he just drops before the enemy peaks and doesn't get the kill. Still, you get the idea. m0NESY is trying to find the highest impact. He's trying to play multiple areas of the map at the same time. This is something you should do with AVP as well. This is mainly AVP thing where you get one kill and immediately rotate elsewhere. However, it is sometimes viable with a rifle as well. So yeah, this is something you should know at least. Now, before I show you something really crazy from m0NESY, make sure to subscribe if you like this kind of videos. There's more to come in the future. Next, on round 9, we can see something a little bit different where m0NESY goes A and he decides to fight palace, smoke off palace and fight ramp or pit area instead. And here we see m0NESY missing a bullet, which already is very unconventional to him. However, what this allows the enemy to do, it allows them to push up close and personal. And this is where most AVP players would be a little bit afraid, because when the guy gets close to you with a rifle, he can swing wide, he can do these crazy jiggle peeks, and now you have no cover basically. So these where most AVPs would back off the jungle where they have cover, they play these longer angles, or they might go to triple and try to find the kill here, but not m0NESY. What m0NESY does, he takes his knife out, jumps close, and no-scopes the enemy. So that's kind of crazy to me. Now, he did have a teammate. I think he would have done this anyways, and he was quite sure there's nobody else here. They would have already showed themselves. There's people shooting at middle. Somebody already died B. Again, this is just very likely that he's alone. So m0NESY wants to get the kill. He's having a good day. He's feeling it. He's vibing it. They are winning 7-1. Why not go for the no-scope play, right? However, we can still learn from this. What ends up happening is m0NESY no longer has to worry about ramp, and he can rotate to a more impactful spot where he has fast B rotates, he has fast middle rotates, while still helping A. And he's looking at his own smoke, because if there was somebody in palace, he could be coming through the smoke right now after this kill, and that also favors m0NESY killing this guy off quickly instead of like getting stuck at triple trying to find the guy who's jiggle peeking here, and now his teammate gets to swing on you and now you die for nothing. So it's sometimes better to kill the guy off quickly so that you can rotate elsewhere and impact the map elsewhere. Again, I think this was just m0NESY feeling confident and I am drawing conclusions and overanalyzing this. However, this principle still applies. If you are in a solo queue and you are playing, let's say you're playing B anchor, and there's one guy just fooling around and clearly his team isn't here, his teammate is middle, it might be worth it to try and push the guy, kill him off, and now you can rotate maybe to short and try help impact middle as well while still being somewhat of a B player. But if you're unsure or having a bad day, then probably it's better to just sit back in some crazy angle and let the lurk come to you. Now, last but not least, guys, I want to show you that sometimes m0NESY simply goes B, he goes to the van, he looks at the B apps. Nothing special, nothing fancy here. You don't need to be rotating like crazy every single round all the time, 24/7. No, just when you find these good rotates, that's when you do them. Don't force them. Sometimes it's alright to just sit here and see if somebody comes into your crosshair. Just play it normally. That's fine as well. Again, now when the T's do end up executing A, you see how m0NESY rotates rather quickly before the bomb is actually visible. So this guy still has the bomb and m0NESY already has his knife out. So again, when he sees there are 3 guys A, he doesn't know where the 4th one is. He doesn't stay here in case somebody maybe wants to plant the bomb. If they do, let them. You'd rather kill his entire team meanwhile, and then you guys can retake like 3 versus 1. It's probably on 1 round anyway. So don't play around these crazy stupid lurks when his team is already executing A. But other than that, yeah, it's completely fine to just play it normally sometimes, and that's it. That's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and like the video. See you guys in the next one.